has come to upstate New York. Fall colors abound, and we welcome you inside Highmark Stadium here in Orchard Park. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. And, see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more of the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This will be fielded at the 17. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates it.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get it back here just past the 45. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to St. Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. They go play action now. Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and they take him down. The Bills get to him. Gregory Rousseau make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the court. And this is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Come on, set.
Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Now Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. A nice little juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Allen's throw is complete, and they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Operating from the red zone now. Allen got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. They'll give to Cook on the read option. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. From the gun, it's Allen. Touchdown! Dawson Knox, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And Oliver, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they felt like they could take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to... At the 32-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. In motion goes the tight end. On second down, Cook. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. And the Bills at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll try the middle with Cook. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Allen. And it's caught. And he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. On play action, Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. An extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, Wilson. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Albert Okwuegbunam from 4 yards out. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Allen now looks to throw. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. After the interception, here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to take possession of the football. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago, and 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking, and the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third, here's an option play right. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Now Wilson on first down. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. We're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. They'll still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. The play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. Uncorks one for Davis. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 49 yards. And the Bills get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Throwing is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing now is Allen. Looking deep downfield. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. Now a give up the middle to Williams. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It's a 1st down following a gain of 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and take.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Point after, up and good. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to...
This is caught inside the 15. A big play here for Buffalo. 69 yards. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. So Allen's going to look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. On the counter, here's Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camp, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Buffalo, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count all the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my